No, it's right there. Not the new. No, after the new.
Yeah, I don't know the definition of tanween, but it will be double fatha.
Yeah, I'm not asking about how it looks like. You see? I'm asking about the definition. And then I will ask about how they look like or how many forms it has. And probably Aba Hafid. Can you tell me the definition of the tanween? Do you know the definition of the tanween?
Non-sukun.
Huh?
Non-sukun and not original.
Huh?
It's a non-sukun but not original.
Nun sakina but not original. What do you mean by that? Umayr, what does he mean by that? Nun sakina but not original.
When we stop at word, then, and that I think that has like a double fatha or.
Your wife can help you without looking at the notes. What's the? Okay, khalas, no. She was. The other side of the board is explaining the difference between nun sakina and tanween, and that was for the kids. And mashallah, Mus'ab, she wrote everything, I guess. She has everything in her notes. So let's ask Dr. Abdullah.
Yes.
What does he mean by that? Aba Hafid.
There are Dhammatan and Fathatan.
No, I'm not asking about the forms. How many forms? That's another question. I'm asking about the definition of the tanween.
Yeah, it is Nun Sakin.
Nun sakin,
Nun Sakin. Non-original.
not original.
Yeah. It comes at the end of the noun or adjective.
Perfect.
And when we continue, we don't read it. Or
When we
read it
continue?
when we continue.
Huh?
We don't read it when we stop.
Perfect. That's 100% answer. MashaAllah, I think you deserve the first cup of tea. Yeah, once it's ready, inshallah. So it's noon sakina. The tanween, it's noon sakina. It's a noon, but not original. What we mean by that, you don't write it as a noon. It's noon sakina. It comes at the end of the noun or an adjective. You read it when you continue. If you stop, you don't read it. You see that? Why don't we write it as like a noon? Why? أبا آدم.
غير أصلية.
Huh?
لأنها غير أصلية.
غير أصلية. What do you mean by that?
She's not part of. It's not part of the word.
It's not part of the word. What he means by that? If you take it out, the tanween, when it comes at the end of the word, it comes in in 4 shapes or 5 shapes. Brother Aba Yusuf, the tanween, it comes in 4 shapes or 5 shapes. Yes, Aba Yusuf, you were the only Aba Yusuf.
Fathatain, Dhammatain, Kasratain.
There's no saknatain? Are you sure? Or shaddatain? There is no shaddatain?
No.
Okay, that's right. So, you have fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain. Any one of these comes like at the end of the noun or an adjective. If you stop and you don't read it as a noun, you eliminate it, it does not change the meaning of the word. You see why it's not original? When you take it out, the meaning is still the same. But the nun sakina, the original nun sakina, so right now remember, we were talking about the tanween. Nun sakina, the original nun, it's same thing. Nun sakina, same thing. It does the same function. But it's part of the word. If you take it out the nun sakina, it will change the meaning. For example, let's say, Al-Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Last noon, sukoon, right? Nun sakina. Take it out. Read the word without the noon. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen without the last noon. Al-Alameen. What's that? You change the meaning completely. By the tanween, إن الله كان عليما حكيما. عليما noon. But you don't see the noon, you see the tanween. Stop on the word aliman. How do you stop? Alima. Huh? You did not pronounce the tanween, but the meaning is still the same. That's why tanween is not an original noon, and the noon segment is an original noon. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, we have noon sakina and tanween and mim sakina. Mim sakina. So noon sakina or tanween has 4 ahkam. And also mim sakina has 4 ahkam. Same names. The 4 ahkam for the noon sakina or tanween. Yusuf, close your eyes and tell me the four categories of the noon sakina or tanween. Think about it, do not look at the board, okay? Think about it, just keep thinking about it until I ask Dr. Abasamara, what's the noon sakina wa tanween has like a specific terminology to it. And the mim sakina has a specific terminology. What's the first hukm, Abasamara? Ishar? No, we don't have that. We don't have that. What is it? We don't have ishar. What is it? What's the first hukm?
He didn't like your law.
What's the first hukm? The first hukm that you studied? Huh? Izhar, perfect. Because you said earlier izhar. We don't have izhar in Tajweed. So izhar, perfect. What's the name of the izhar for the noon sakina? That's your question. So noon sakina wa tanween has izhar, and mim sakina has izhar. How to differentiate between the two izhar?
You didn't study the meme side.
No, I mean how to, like if I tell you what's the hukm in here and you tell me izhar, how do I know it's izhar pertaining to the noon sakina or mim sakina? You add like one more word. You add one terminology. Izhar. إظهار أبا سمارة مقصد هاك no خلاص you were looking at the word مقصد.
No, I'm not looking at it.
What is it?
Yeah.
You confused مقصد.
No.
What's the إظهار for noon sakina?
Shafawi for mim sakin, and shafahi for nun sakin.
Shafahi. Okay, going back to you. Why I'm targeting you tonight? Okay, so I just, subhanAllah, once, when you ask somebody some questions, they never forget these stuff.
Okay.
So we have izhar, shafahi or shafawi for the noon sakina.
Shafahi.
Shafahi.
Yeah.
Why shafahi? Why not shafawi?
It's not from the lips.
Perfect. Shafawi pertaining to the mim sakina. Why shafawi? Because the lips are called shifa in Arabic. Ash-shafatayn, ash-shifa. So the mim comes from the lips. Mi, mu, So we call these, same thing, same terminologies. Idghar, idgham, iqlab, ikhfa. But these are called, you add one terminology, shafawi. Because they come from the shifa. Shifa. Huh? Yes. No. No, it's just like sajah.
What is the meaning of shafi?
Ash-shifa, lips.
No.
Shafahiyya, that's the opposite. You see, right now, shafawi, because mim These are the ahkam of the meme, and the meme comes from the shafah, from the shafatain. So we call it idhar shafawi, idgham shafawi. To differentiate this idhar from this idhar. This idhar is called shafahi, mushafaha. Mushafaha means like in Arabic, oral, as he said, like oral test in Arabic. In English, when you said like we have an oral test, it's shafawi, right? Sometimes you have some tests in college or also like in medical school. They oral test, right? That's shafawi in Arabic. Shafawi. No, I mean shafahi. Shafahi, not shafawi. Shafahi, like you are actually speaking out. You're speaking loud. That's shafahi. They're very similar, so do not be confused. Shafahi and shafawi. Shafahi is just like oral. Shafawi from the lips. And we spoke about the first hukm in noon sakina wa tanween. The first hukm is idhar, right? Second hukm Yusuf, and third hukm and fourth hukm. I gave you enough time to think about it.
Idgham, iqlab, and ikhfa.
Can you translate those four terminologies? Idhar, what does it mean?
Idhar is appearance.
Appearance, like you appear. The letter actually appears, and the nun sakina appears when you have the idhar. And the second hukm?
Idgham is the mixing, and iqlab is the flipping, and then ikhfa is disappearance.
Perfect. Mus'ab, I'm going to give you a word, and you tell me what's the hukm, okay? What are the letters of the idhar? Okay, so you said hamza ha. Okay. Okay, good. So look at this word. Is it idhar?
Yeah, we do izhar, it's an exception.
It's an exception, okay. You got it, I guess. Good.
Thank you.
Next question. Yusuf, where do the letters come from? The idhar. The throat? All of them or just like some of them?
All of them.
Can you be specific?
The deeper part, the middle part, and the upper part.
Give me like the location of each letter.
Hamza ha comes from the deeper, from the last part of from the chest, from the deeper part of the throat.
From the
last one, and ayn ha comes from the middle, and the upper one is ayn ha.
Okay. Who remembers the poetry? Aba Adam. Or who memorized the hamzun hamza, hamzun fahaun ha, hamzun. I'm just adding the tanween on top of each letter. Hamza, I say hamzun. Haun. Hamzun fahaun. Fa, it's like then in Arabic. Fa. Hamzun, hamza, ha. Hamzun, hamzun, fahaun, thumma, aynun. It's ayn, but we're adding just the tanween because we're talking about tanween. Hamzun, fahaun, thumma, aynun, ha'u. I did not say ha'un because I stopped. If I continue, I say ha'un. Hamzun, fahaun, thumma, aynun, ha'u. These are muhmalatan. Muhmalatan, they don't have dots. Neglected. Muhmalatan. Then غين خاء ثم غين خاء. Try to remember that, inshallah.
Remember the letters.
So, how do you remember the letters?
Yeah.
They're so easy. 6 letters.
Yeah.
It's like عين, like عين and غين. عين and غين. عين غين. حاء خاء. Right? They're like, they come in order basically. But the dots, the letters that have dots, you put them at the highest part of the throat. And then you put these 2 friends, like in the middle, and then Hamza and Ha, they're very rare letters. You put them in the bottom. That's it. So, when we spoke about the idhar, the appearance, when one of these 6 letters comes after the noon sakina. As we said, the noon sakina, how many shapes of the noon sakina? We studied that long time ago. Do you remember that? How many shapes of the noon sakina?
Shapes?
Yeah, in what forms it comes? Let me ask
متصل منفصل.
أخت فايزة, huh?
متصل.
No, the forms. Noon sakina. How many forms how do you know it's noon sakina? If you see a noon in the Quran, how do you know it's a noon sakina? Let me ask Ahmed.
I don't know attend that class. I joined it.
You don't need to attend that class. It's so easy.
If it's
Abdul Nasser.
If it's-
Huh? No, but I'm asking about the noon sakina, huh?
Okay.
if it's
Abba Saman.
Why is that it doesn't have any sign? Or you have a...
The first form, the noon, does not have any sign. Doesn't have any move on top of it or under it. Nothing.
sakin, yeah.
That's noon sakina. We studied that. How come we forgot?
You have to mention.
The 3 forms of noon sakina.
That's how you write it. There's the speed.
Huh?
I thought that you noon something from like in, it's separate from the other letters, or
Let's see here.
otherwise so there's like strictly you're talking about like things around it.
That's what we're trying to say basically. The first shape in the Quran, it doesn't have anything. So the previous, like the old masahif, they wrote the noon sakina without anything on top of it. Or under it, like noon, the first, without anything. Huh? That's right. Without anything. Anything. On top or that's the first noon in the Quran. It could come like at the beginning, so like that, or in the middle, or at the end. Huh?
By itself, it says.
Or by
separate,
itself, yes.
separate.
Okay, they will put it in. Beginning, middle, end, isolated. That's the first form the noon sakina comes in. It comes without any sign, nothing. The second form, ha Mus'ab.
Small circle on top.
Small circle. The second form is noon. Circle. On top. the third form.
What's the difference then?
Huh?
What's the difference between 1 and 2?
They're the same noon, but I'm just telling you like how do you know it's noon sakina in the Quran? Sometimes the noon sakina has basically 3 dresses. It likes to change the dresses when it goes out. Sometimes it goes just with a white dress, white robe, without anything, no jacket, nothing, no shoes, just walking like in a subhanallah barefoot. So that's the noon, without anything. Sometimes it decides to put some hat. You see, it walks out. And you say, oh, it's the same noon. So tomorrow if I come without this, I'm gonna be another Shamsan? I'm gonna be the same thing, right? The same person. I'm just changing the look. So the noon also, like, you know, it's so arrogant, basically. So it likes to change some clothes. And the third form of noon sakina, huh? Half
tanween.
What's that half tanween? I've never heard of it.
Is tanween or
Tanween on top of the noon sakina?
It's a sakin.
That's right.
A half circle or small sign on it?
No, you Abasamara got it right. Anybody can confirm that?
Isn't it hidden in the theme within
No, it's we spoke about that. Look, small hat.
which was not?
Small half.
That's no with small hat sign.
That's a hat.
Yes, and I'm going to ask you why. What does it mean? Because I told you. You are getting close.
لا حركة يعني اسكت.
You see, you see that? It came from the letter Kha. Perfect. Not Khalia. Kha.
خاوي.
I put the word in here. It came from the word because remember, like I told you long time ago, there was no letters, right, in Arabic. No letters. You can read it by yourself.
No tanween. No نقاط.
No niqat. No niqat on top of the letters or under the letters. So from the text, from the context, you can find out the meaning. So it came from the word like this. That's how it was written. Khafif. Khafif.
Ah, without the
Khafif. So it's like that. We put the dots, but there was no dots. They used to read it as khafif. So, and then you cut from here. So if you see this sign on top of any letter, it's sakina, but sukun khafif. Do not, يعني sometimes like some people, they lose the sukun completely. They don't even make sukun, but make sukun khafif. من, that's ثقيل. من آمن ثقيل. Sometimes you find some of the words, they have this sign. So you make the sukun a little bit like, you know, delighted.
What's the meaning of a khafif?
خفيف, light.
Light?
Just very light, not ثقيل, not heavy, the opposite of heavy.
In which mushaf we can meet this Sajna in this hadith? Because when I read the Quran,
Which one do you see in the Quran?
I think
You see the circle?
No circle. This ha.
You see with the ha?
Yes.
Yes, because
I never.
You never seen the circle. The ha, you see it like in Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, those Uzbekistan, Stan.
In Pakistan, I use
Okay, so some of the masahifs, you see the ha. Which sukun do you guys use?
We use circle ones. Turkish,
The circle?
Turkish style, yeah.
That's Turkish. That's like Arabic style. That's like you know, the one that was actually written in the Medina. It was written in two versions, without anything. And then, when they collected the Quran, at the time of Uthman, they added the circle, the sukun, and also the ha, to make it easy for people like who actually embraced Islam to see this is like, you know, sukun. You make sukun, you stop. But it doesn't matter wherever. Like right now, you know them. If I give you a mushaf from Morocco, you will see the ha. You're not gonna see the circle. So you know it's sometimes you see the circle when there's like sukun thaqil, heavy sukun. You will see the sukun, and sometimes even if there's like sukun thaqil in some of the masahif in Warsh in Algeria, Morocco, you don't see the circle. You see it naked, noon.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Just
Well,
noon.
in some masahif you see all of them, all three of them.
Yeah, some of the masahif you see, those are like sophisticated masahif. Like, you know, they just tell you, khalas, this is like very strong. They put the circle. Hey, be like careful. Hey, pay attention. There's like sukun coming here. And then there's like some word, they put ha also. Oh, this is khafif. And then if the sukun is not that important, or like, you know, or like in the middle of the word and it's very strong, they put it like naked. But anyways, like I just want you to know the three forms of noon sakina. Any mushaf I give you, you know. If it doesn't have anything, it's noon sakina. If it has circle, it's noon sakina. If it has this little ha, it's noon sakina. So right now, if any letter of these 6 letters comes after noon sakina, what do you do to the noon sakina? It appears. You have to read it out loud.
You make it clear.
Yeah, you make it very clear. Or tanween. We just spoke about the tanween. The tanween, it has 3 different forms. Where is it?
On top of it.
Yeah, because we spoke about it a long time ago. 1, 2, 3. If one of these letters comes after the tanween, you make the tanween looks like noon. Aliman Hakima. Because if you look at the examples, we put so many examples. I'm only going to do one example here, and then we move to the next hukm, inshallah. Aliman Hakima. What's the next letter? Ha. Came after what? The tanween. Fathatain, the tanween. Because the ha is one of these letters. Ha came after the tanween. When you continue, you pronounce the tanween as noon, completely a perfect noon. Aliman. Aliman Hakima. Do not say Aliman Hakima. If you stop. Khalas, why do you actually kill yourself to continue? Alima, Aliman Hakima, and then come back. Because they see some people, they try to just like catch up, or like, you know, to make it seem perfect. Aliman Hakima. No, don't do that. Relax. Stop. Alima. And then, let me ask, since we mentioned Aliman Hakima, if you stop in here, you have the tanween. If you stop, you're not going to pronounce the tanween. What is it going to be anuf?
Alima.
What's that? I think Maqsad is ready to help you. He can help you, he said. You can help him. What hukm it's gonna be if you stop?
If you stop.
حروف المد we will
Ali.
make Ali
Perfect. Sakin and alif sakin, and then the meme before it has fatha. That's a letter of mad. Perfect. What's the hukm? What did we do right now? It was, look, it was tanween. We stopped, and we stopped,
مد لازم
and then
مد لازم
فتحة
كلمة
إذا ميم.
مد لازم كلمة.
ha.
بعدين بس
عوض.
أو بعد-
عوض. Perfect. I know you were trying to say عوض. عوض. Compensation method. What did we do? We eliminated the tanween. We gave the meme what? Fatha instead of the tanween. So it was aliman, right? Tanween. When the tanween, when you erase the tanween, you don't erase only the tanween, you erase everything. The tanween with the stand. The tanween with the stand, right? And then you give the meme fatha instead of that, because you actually stole the tanween with the cane. It was depending on that. And then, okay, you took the tanween away, you gave the meme fatha, you replaced that. Khalas. Here you go, give me your tanween, I'm gonna give you the fatha. Okay, but you did not compensate me. Give me something extra to feel comfortable. At least you compensated me for my effort. So, okay, khalas, we will give you an alif as a compensation. You see why it's called iwad? Iwad ta'weed. I'm compensating you. I'm giving you the fatha instead of the tanween. Okay. But that's badal. If I give you the fatha instead of the tanween, badal. The mad al-badal. But this is not mad al-badal. This is iwad, ta'weed. Here you go. Here you go. I'm going to give you something on top of that. An extra alif. So it will turn to mad al-iwad. The fatha, sometimes you see it in here, when you stop here, but it does not belong to the alif, it belongs to the meme. They just don't put it here. Because all the fathat, dhamma, kasarat on top, so they make it here, like to make it looks nice. But the fatha and the tanween belongs to what? The tanween originally belongs to the meme. So you stole the tanween from the meme. But why do we have alif when we have tanween? Just like to make it look better. You cannot put the tanween directly on the meme. Here you go. The original word is alim by itself. Alim, the ism min asma Allah. In Arabic, alim. When you could say aliman, but in Arabic, like from the calligraphy point of view, they don't add the tanween on the letter by itself, on the any letter, except the 3 letters of mad. That's one of the grammars of khutut, of khat. The calligraphy in Arabic. Alim is the original word, alim. You could say alim, hakim. It's basically like that. Aliman, hakima, hakiman if you continue. Aliman, hakiman. But it doesn't look good. So in the Arabic language, when they used to write anything with tanween, they put alif. As a stand for the tanween. But the tanween belongs to the last letter. So if you delete this alif, the word is still the same word, Ali. So you did not change the meaning. So you keep that in mind. How do you know if something is original or not original? You take it out from the word. If the word is not changing, that means it's not original, that alif. The alif just like came as a cane, as a stand, just to put the tanween on top of it so it can look good. That's it. So we will speak about the idgham. So we spoke about the idhar shafahi. Idhar shafahi. And tonight we are going to speak about the idgham shafahi.
With the noon.
Huh?
With the noon. Because usually you say, except the noon, you remember? When we studied
إدغام شفهي. I did not say إدغام متماثلين متقاربين. إدغام شفهي including the noon.
There was something like that.
I will put that like as a note in here to see if you still remember it. The cause behind the إظهار Abdul Nasser.
بعد المخرج.
Say that in English.
The long distance between the two مخرج.
Huh? That's right. Ahmad, what's the reason?
The reason is the articulation of the letters are far away, that's why we do it now.
That's right. The articulation of the two letters, the nun sakina and the letters of ibhar are far away. So we're done with the ibhar. Right now the idgham. Do I put the hamza in here or Aba Adam or in here? Which one is the right way? Here or here?
It's
One or two?
two.
Wrong, Aba Adam.
No,
Why?
no, because the first one is Hamza Twassal, then the Tanya is the.
So you put the hamza in here in this location?
Yeah, because it follows the Hamza. See that one that's going this way? That's the Hamza. That's where one you need Hamza.
Let me tell you why it's wrong in here, okay? Let me tell you why.
It's right.
لام التعريف. لام ولا
Perfect. Lam.
Yeah.
I confused him because
You don't confuse me. This is E. Eat the lam. So it's the follow the eight.
yeah, you see if it's sometimes you see the L like that. So you see it like under the alif. So this sign is coming this way. If you put the hamza, which letter is this?
لام.
If you put the hamza under the lam, that's not right. So you put the hamza where? Under the alif.
But the alif is the first one, not the second.
The alif.
How
you
do
mean
you write
this
from
one?
right to left or left to right?
Oh, you're talking about this
Now,
alif?
when you write Arabic, how do you write? From right to left or left to right?
From like this. Here you go.
Okay, let's see. Yeah.
Alif,
Lam,
lam.
then Hamza.
No, don't put the hamza. Oh, the alif hamza.
No, I said alif lam, then the Hamza,
so-
alif with Hamza. Yeah, that's so. That's why.
That's lam. If I put the hamza in here, that
No, I
belongs to
said
the lam.
alif lam, then the alif with Hamza. That's the one. So.
That's right. You see the alif with hamza right here. You cannot put it on the side. It has to be under the alif.
Which one is the alif? That's what For me, the alif is the one that's going that way
No.
because it's
Ah,
when you start.
okay.
When you start, you like. Let me show you. I'm gonna take over here. Let's see. So this is how you start from right to left, not like the
Right to
so
left.
alif,
Sheikh
lam, then this way, or alif, lam, hams, then you put underneath. So
Good.
depending
You
how
see
write
that?
it.
Where did you put it?
Depending how you write it. So which one is alif for you?
Which one is the alif in here?
This one here.
You see that? That's good. You see, you put it on this end,
Yeah,
not
but you
this
were putting
end.
it here, so like no.
Watch. I did
So
not put it
all
on
the way there. Yeah. That's one or two.
because the alif is here, the end of the alif.
Yeah.
You put it at the end of the alif.
Yeah.
He proved it. He confirmed what I did. So that's right. You see that? He did. That's alif at the end here. So why didn't you put it in here? You cannot put it in here because this is the lam. But do not copy his handwriting.
But check brother Idris, right?
Yeah. That works.
As long as the pharmacist can see it, that's good.
So that's lam, al, and then the al-alif here at the end of the alif you put the hamza. So the hamza does not belong to this, belongs to the alif. And this one just like a decoration, they add it as a decoration.
Decoration.
Al-idgham. Al-idgham, the second hukm basically. So right now I'm going to ask somebody to give me the definition of the idgham. So I can summarize it. Can you tell me from the previous topics that we studied? Aba Yusuf. Yusuf.
Merging of two letters.
Mixing or merging two letters.
Two letters with their from the articulation or with the sifat. Sometimes it varies.
Yeah, don't mention that. That's in details. Just tell me the general definition. Mixing two letters.
Mixing two letters to make it sound like in one.
One letter. Why?
ساكن
ها.
متحرك.
The second letter is sakin. Perfect. The second, which one is mutaharrik?
The first letter.
That's right. So mixing two letters. The first letter is sakin. Second letter is mutaharrik. You make them sound like one letter with shadda. That's the general definition. So it is basically what is the reason for the idgham, Aba Adam?
قرب المخرج.
If you say قرب المخرج, then you're targeting the متقاربان. I need like the general reason. They're close, that's right. But there's also
It's easy to read.
the reason. Ahmad, let me see if you can give me the general reason.
Just have Arabic.
قرب المخرج, that's right. The letters of the idgham are closer to the nun sakin than the letters of idhar. So that's the general, basically, reason for the idgham. And you mentioned something to make it easy to read. The letters of idgham, if you make it idhar, if you make them like, really clearly, if you pronounce them like very clearly, in the Quran, they don't sound good. very hard. You lose your breath after like 3 ayats. It's easy for you to say مَن يَعْمَل. You don't put so much effort. Like when you say وَمَن يَعْمَل. Oh, it's too much. Try to read it. Huh? وَمَن يَعْمَل. Read the surah.
من يعمل
الهمزة. Read it with إظهار. All of it. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ. Try.
It really can make it with the right.
ومن يعمل
I want you to feel.
مثقال ذرة خيرا يره.
Read the surah from the beginning with إظهار. All of it.
That's too much.
Bad. Read surah الهمزة.
ويل. They want me to make it all half.
Yeah, all إظهار.
ويل لكل همزة.
With tajweed. وَيْلٌ
لا, but you
لِكُلِّ.
want me to write it without with the har or
With إظهار, but beautiful, like, you know. Just put some.
like you want me to make the idgham in half, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Read it long.
ويل لكل همزة لمزة الذي جمع مالا وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لا ينبذن في الحطمة.
So you see, it's very tough when you read it with adhar. Why? You lose your breath. So the idgham came to save your breath, to make it so easy for you to read. You don't need to put so much effort. The Quran is so easy. Just read it. Let it go. Let it flow. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ.
But when you talk, there's no tajweed, right? When you speak
He was
Arabic.
talking basically about Adam. I wanted him to do it with his beautiful voice. When
No,
he
I mean like
recites.
when you speak like Arabic, you don't need tajweed. And
You don't need tajweed.
Like you get like what, tired because of that too, or what?
No, you get tired when you recite, when you put the tone, the rhythm.
Oh, okay.
There's no second you have to like to pause. So then you have restart. Then you have like another.
Like when I say,
air
You have
when,
to stress,
yeah,
stress it, right?
when you
Every
speak
time.
outside of the Quran, you don't get tired. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. That's talking basically, I'm not reciting.
Okay.
وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. That's not reciting. Reciting is like you put the نغمة, نغم, غناء, you sing it. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. That's with tajweed. If I do it adhar, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. It's too much for me. After like when I am done, I can't even continue because it's taken so much effort from your sound. That's the reason for the idgham, the cause behind the idgham. Why do we have the idgham in the first place? The idgham, how many letters, Umayr, we have in the idgham? How many, the number, how many?
6.
Same thing in idgham. So 6 and 6, don't worry. So idgham, we have 6 letters in idgham.
So you're gonna ask him next
No, I'm
class?
gonna ask you, inshallah.
Get ready.
That was asterisk.
We spoke about idgham in details previously. So this one is just like in general. We spoke about how many types of idgham?
4.
4 types of idgham. As a review, okay, I'm gonna put them in here. I need
Yusuf. He
Not
pointed out
Yusuf.
last week.
Yusuf,
He-
do you still remember that?
he made it- he made
he's
it
a
clear.
master in them.
Yeah, he made it clear.
Ahmad,
There are 4 types.
what are they?
Mutalatina,
Muta?
the one they are.
Yeah, what is it called? Musab, what is it called? متماثلان. Like مثال, مثل. Do you have
متقاربان.
متماثلان متماثل good متقاربان.
متجانسان.
The متجانسان is the second type. متجانسان and then متقاربان and then متباعدان. So we have, I'm gonna put it in here. We have 4 types of إدغام.
With shadda only? Shadda, or with shadda and ghunna?
I don't want to put the gunna because the gunna comes only when there's no one or me. Because if you put the gunna, you mean like all of them. We have 2 types, 2 kinds related to the gunna. 2 kinds related to So basically, when you have one of these letters, Dr. Idris, one of these letters comes after noon sakina or tanween, you merge the noon with the letter. You make it sound like one letter, that's it. As you did with the idhar, you pronounce the letter clearly and the noon sakina or tanween clearly. You pronounce both of them very clear. In this one, you just mix them and you make them one letter. They're close in location. They could be close in location like what? Which one is the closest to the noon? Ya or waw? That's a very good question. Who says wow? Who says yeah? I see the same hand says. Look, I'm going to.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow is closer.
Sometimes you just like need to think about it.
And
Wow is
two, yeah.
What? Watch.
Wow, no.
It's close. Very close.
Here is, you have like the palette in here.
They are equal.
Hold on.
Depending
Here,
on how Allah creates you, if your lips is too big, sometimes it's the wow is outside the lip.
big wow.
what do we have from here?
Jaysh.
Across from them.
Jaysh.
Yeah? Jim, Sheen. And then you have here the wow. Which one is closer to the noon?
Yeah.
No,
The yeah.
No one is like further down.
On top. Say,
Yeah, but
and
further down.
do.
I-
Do you use your lips? Yeah, which one is closer? I'm going to tell you why I mean by closer. Like in Tajweed, why the ya is closer to the noon. Why? Who can prove it to me? Why? Why the ya is closer than the waw to the noon? Why? Think about the waw, Adam. Why? Why do you think the ya is closer to the noon than waw?
The tongue is a bird shape.
Because you use that. What do you use for the noon and ya? The tongue. The tongue is used for both. You see what I'm saying? The tongue is for both letters. So in Tajweed al-Imam al-Jazari, he mentions that اللسان مستخدمة كآلة واحدة للنون وحروف جيش والياء والجيم. The tongue is used for both letters, noon and ya. So they come from the same what? From the same tool, from the same organ, the tongue. You don't use your lips at all when you pronounce the ya. Ay, an. I'm not using my lips. So the noon and ya, I know it's kind of tricky, but you see the diagram, you think it's closer. But the العضو الذي تستخدمه, the tool that you use to pronounce the noon and the ya, it's the same tool. Yeah, the tongue. But for the waw, we use only the lips. So, متقاربان, they're close in makhraj. متقاربان means like they could be close in makhraj and defer in sifa, or close in makhraj and close in sifa, or you see,
Close to Sifa, far enough.
close in sifa and far in makhraj. So let's make it this way. If we say close in makhraj and they defer in sifa, what do we mean by that? Close in makhraj. We mean noon and ya, close in makhraj, and they defer in sifat. If we say I mean close in makhraj, noon and ya, close in makhraj, noon and ya, they're close in makhraj, and they differ in sifat. If we say close in sifa and they differ in makhraj, noon and ya. You don't need to know that if you don't. Dr. Idris, you don't need to know that. Just like I want you to understand the general idea. So same. I mean close. Close. Close and makhraj. Makhraj and different in quality. Which letter is that? Close in makhraj, noon and ya. And then here, close in quality, the opposite. And defer in makhraj نون أنا. And then متباعدان. Oh, متباعدان, that's, what do we put in here? إظهار. متباعدان is the إظهار. When does this case happen? When? Anybody remembers who studied that? When does it happen in this case?
The letters are different in makhraj and different in khalat. They're not close.
They don't agree in makhraj.
But we're talking about the noon. We're talking about the noon. When that tool, the noon sakina is not sakina anymore. Like remember like the definition of the idgham. The first letter is sakin, the second letter is mutaharrik. But when both of them are mutaharrikin, khalas, they're far away. They're not idgham anymore.
Yeah.
When both are moving, okay? When both letters are moving.
I was talking about nun sakin. How to
Yes.
say both on it?
So sometimes, they just put that to make it easy for you so you don't get confused. Sometimes you see the noon and noon after it. But the noon is mutaharrika, not sakina. Oh, and some of them, noon and noon, they merge them. No, you cannot merge them or mix them. Pronounce two different noons.
So, but when you stop, then it's going to be like.
If you
sukun,
stop,
right?
yeah.
We have we exception of this?
Yeah, I'm going to mention it right now, inshallah. So these are the 4 categories of the idgham. The 2 other types of idgham, not types of idgham, but we can divide those 6 letters into 2 groups. Okay? Let me tell you how. So we have 2 types of idgham in the point of the ghunna. From the perspective of ghunna, we have 2 types. From the perspective of makharij and closeness and qualities, we have 4 types. That's the best way you put it. So idgham, from the perspective of articulation and qualities, we have 4. From the perspective of ghunna, we have only 2. So here, the 4 main categories related to makhraj, makhraj and quality. Good. And right now we have 2 related to ghunna.
Where is the meme?
Huh?
Where is the meme?
Huh? Nasayna al-mim, it's right here.
Yeah.
You can add the meme,
right?
put the meme in here.
Yeah.
So, and then you tell me, is it close in makharaj, noon and mim close in makharaj, or close in quality and far in makharaj? They're close in quality.
Close in quality, far in makharaj.
Because the mim comes from the lips and the noon has the tongue part of the articulation.
The boss has a one line.
That's the quality. Yes. السلام عليكم. I'm almost done with my class, inshallah. Yes. Inshallah. Are you at your house? Send me the address, inshallah. Yeah, send me.
P-E-R.
Yeah.
Just P-E-R.
P-E-R. P-E-R-F. Yeah. That's imperfect writing.
You have that word in Urdu, naqis? Not complete.
Yeah.
Kamil, kamil.
Full.
Kamal.
Mukammal.
Mukammal.
Mukammal means what?
Complete.
Complete, huh? So,
Famous.
al-mukammal or al-mukammal?
Not me, Adini. Salah
So, we have two categories of idgham related to ghunna. Why do we speak about ghunna? Because noon sakina has ghunna. The noon has ghunna. The ghunna is actually a quality that has to come with the noon and mim. So, we have two types from the point of the ghunna. Kamil, when I say kamil, completely perfect, I mean you mixed them to the point there's no ghunna. Completely idgham, complete idgham. You actually, basically, you buried the noon. You don't even hear the ghunna. Kamil without ghunna. بغنة, they think it's kamil, perfect idgham مع الغنة. No, it's kamil, that means kamil idgham, completely idgham, to the point you don't even hear the ghunna. And the other type is naqis. Why? Because it has ghunna, it's not perfectly idgham. The idgham was not, you don't have to do it perfect idgham. You make the idgham but do not actually do it perfectly. Keep the ghunna. So, when do you do idgham completely and you disappear the ghunna? You disappear the ghunna in 4 letters. And they are...
Four.
Huh?
Yeah, name, wow.
You see, that's the confusion. Yeah, huh?
Yeah,
Yen.
wow.
Yuminu is with imperfect. Perfect with the lam.
With one
Hold
is
on.
yeah.